Welcome back. My name is Dr. Zia. I welcome you in my lecture series on research methods. We started the lecture series on research methods, specifically on the topic of research process. We covered the four research process steps, including the broad problem area, preliminary data gathering, problem definition, theoretical framework, and now in this lecture I'm going to talk about hypothesis development. This is the step 5 of research process. Hypothesis development, first of all let me define what is an hypothesis. An hypothesis is a logically conjectured relationship between two or more variables expressed in the form of a testable statement. Can you give me an example of hypothesis statement? I would request you to pause my video and comment below. Let me see what examples you can give. All right, so let me give you some example as it comes to my mind as well. An example of hypothesis could be like this. If the employees are motivated at workplace, the performance will be enhanced. This is an example of hypothesis. Okay, the statement of hypothesis formats. There can be different formats of hypothesis statements. Number one, the first format is if-then statements. Number two is directional statements or directional hypotheses. If the relationship of two variables are or comparing two groups, terms such as positive, negative, more than, less than, this is directional hypothesis. The if-then hypothesis, for example, if the employees are healthy, then they will make leaves frequently. They will make leaves less frequently. Pardon me. So if-then hypothesis could be like this. If the employees are healthy, then they will make less leaves frequently. On more leaves, maybe they can go on holidays actually, but that couldn't be right. Number three, directional hypothesis. Directional hypothesis could be like this. The greater the stress experienced in the job, the lower the job satisfaction of the employees. Another type of or the format of hypothesis could be non-directional hypothesis. What is a non-directional hypothesis? There is, for example, let me give you an example. There is a relationship between age and job satisfaction, or maybe association studies. So you don't mention any sort of direction or non-direction. Direction, I mean. It is non-directional hypothesis. So non-directional hypotheses mostly postulate relationship or differences but offer no indication of the direction of these or such relationships or differences. It may be conjectured that there may be significant relationship between two variables, but we may not be able to say whether it is positive, more than, less than, or negative. Next type or format of hypothesis could be null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is a proposition that states a definite exact relationship between two variables. It states that the population correlation between two variables is equal to 0, or it expresses that there is no significant relationship between two variables or no significant difference between two variables. Another type or format of hypothesis could be alternate hypothesis. Most of the times we don't write null hypothesis, but we write alternate hypothesis. So an alternate hypothesis says that there is a relationship or significant relationship or difference that exists between variables. So remember the 5 steps to be followed in hypothesis testing. In order to test the hypothesis, you need to follow 5 steps. Number 1, state the null and alternate hypothesis. Number 2, choose the appropriate statistical tests depending on whether the data are parametric or non-parametric. So we'll discuss later on in detail in my next lecture. Number 3, determine the level of significance desired. Means p equals 0.05 or more or less. So see the output results from analysis to check that the significant level is met or not. Number 2, when the resultant value is larger than the critical value, than that of the critical value, the null hypothesis is rejected and the alternate accepted, and vice versa. I'll discuss this further in detail. Okay, before concluding the discussion on hypothesis, check out that the hypothesis generation and testing can be done both through induction as well as deduction. Remember, in deduction, first theoretical model is developed and then at the end the hypotheses are tested. On the other hand, in induction, new hypotheses are formulated based on the known data. My name is Dr. Zia. I thank you very much. Please subscribe to my video channel, this lecture series, and press the like button and press the bell icon as well. See you in my next lecture.